whole of society approach to fight this virus, and this includes our individual and collective acts of solidarity with others as individuals, as I said, as institutions, but also as a country. Indeed, I want to reaffirm today that I have spoken to most of our development partners across the world, and I have found a very positive response. In the next couple of weeks, I believe that we shall have billions of shillings that will be added through our own initiatives as well as our development partners, and these will be added to some of these initiatives that I have announced today to offer direct relief to Kenyans. And I want to thank each and every partner for their solidarity and willingness to listen and to respond to our proposals. In the same breath, I would also like to express my heartfelt thanks to our National Assembly for rising to the challenge and seeing the merit to approve the tax measures that my administration had prepared. And I want to thank our legislators, and we will now ensure that employees have more of their earnings available for them to spend, and that also that we reduce the corporate tax burden as an incentive to business enterprises. And I expect these measures to complement all the other measures that the government has and is taking to minimize the negative impact of the coronavirus on the economy and on the welfare of ordinary mwananchi. I also want at this point to specially recognize and thank the very, very many active community groups that are responding to the needs of their fellow citizens. I want to express my thanks to members of Shining Hope communities, the Sikh and Hindu communities, the Green Card, Mtaani, Ghetto Classics, Torch Women, Women in Business, many individual, corporate, and individual partners, including Beyond Zero. And I want to thank you all for the efforts that you are making to partner with us as government as we alleviate the stress that many vulnerable groups are going through. Let me say, fellow Kenyans, that we are not going to be in this situation forever. There will come indeed a day, and I hope and believe and trust in God that this will not be in the distant future, when we will overcome the threat of this pandemic. I also believe that by being disciplined, patriotic, and empathetic, we can achieve a victory. As I have stated, we will continue to be guided by the medical expertise, science on how to escalate, and again I repeat once more, or de-escalate our response to this pandemic. I believe that we are now in the middle of a war being fought in every street, in every homestead, every building across our country. The key for all of us to return to normal is keeping our infection rates falling and raising our testing rates. So far, as a country, we have tested some 17,492 persons and are proceeding with mass targeted testing. This is giving our experts the data and insights to guide the policy decisions that we make now and that we shall make into the future. I want to be categorical and once again re-emphasize that government, will not delay in de-escalating the measures that I am announcing today the moment our experts, because it is they in whom we should trust, inform us that the risks have reduced significantly on the basis of how we as governments national and county, but also as individual citizens, shall respond to the directions that we are given by our experts. Indeed, I have directed, for example, the National Response Emergency Committee to map out the economic sectors and activities on the basis of infection risk. The mapping exercise, when combined with increased testing and more exact contact tracing, will inform how we reopen our economy progressively. One immediate step from the work done so far is that we shall allow a few restaurants and eateries in selected counties that show the highest levels of health regulation compliance and the ability to arrange for employee testing to undertake minimal operations while maintaining measures that mitigate against the spread of coronavirus. The Cabinet Secretary of Health will in due course be announcing and release the protocols that we shall expect these facilities to abide by. Any report by the public or authorities that these establishments that we shall be reopening are not following the laid down measures and protocols will lead to their instant closure and indeed follow-up prosecutions. We will reopen our economy, but this must be in a way that does not endanger many thousands of lives. Some countries, as you all well know, had initially succeeded in suppressing the pandemic only for them to open up without proper process and consequently suffer a huge spike in infections. We don't want to go that way.